Hello everyone, Dekzeh here, another narration for the CALLOUS Invitational. Now at the first round of the main event, already have some insane matchups. Here it's Dice and Tamahome, or just Tama. And honestly it's kinda crazy, despite neither being really an ADV main. Like you look at Tama, and you could definitely describe him as like a top 10 or maybe even top 5 best ADV players of all time. And like I said, not even an ADV main, but that's just how good and how like consistent he has been through years or even decades, honestly. And on the other side, it's Dice, and Dice also not originally an ADV main, but has played the tier in the past couple of SPLs. Just all around great players. As far as I know, they are like friends. They've known each other for a long time. Let's get into the match. I'm excited. Let's just go. So Tarenta lead for Dice, Salamence leader for Tama, a classic lead matchup here. I like switching out as both sides. Some people like staying in on either side, some people mix it up. Yeah, I normally would expect like two bulky waters with chains or two Skarmory or something in between that. Um, oh, Tama calls it out the switch with Fire Blast, and wow, that's already huge for Dice. So that's just a crazy play, right? Uh, to be fair, nowadays very few people just click the Choice Band Brick Break turn 1 with Salamence, but risking that is just... I don't have the balls. And already huge lead for Dice. We see a Tyranitar and a Flygon. And a Starmie. Well, Starmie is switching in on Flygon. That's Choice Band Flygon and I think Max HP Starmie. So if Starmie is a Flygon switching, that doesn't look so well. Maybe like Salamence would be the best Flygon switching that he has. But yeah, Choice Band Flygon Bulky Starmie is what I think this is. But also Ice Beam on, like, looking at that damage roll, I'm pretty sure that's Choice Band Flygon and Max HP Starmie. Max HP Starmie doesn't really run Ice Beam, right? I feel like Dice could maybe have stayed in, and the recovery from Tama is wild. I think Tama had to... I mean, Tama is so far behind, he kinda had to recover there, and Dice is so far ahead, he can play it safe. And yeah, we see Blissey hardwalling the Starmie. Let's see if Dice can get the Toxic on the Tyranitar switch, get a turn right. But yeah, it's looking really good for Dice. It's still early, like, it's half the teams are unrevealed, but... See the Tyranitar, and we see a Toxic on the switch, it's not a Lum. So... this could be a Choice Bender. Focus Punch. See the damage. There's a Choice Band and a defensive Swampert, right? So Tama was probably expecting the Flygon. But yeah, it's an offensive Flygon, Choice Band. Flygon wouldn't take on Choice Band Tyranitar that well. Starmie in on Swampert. Even a bulky one, it's... wow. And Tama tries to make an aggressive switch read there. And he sends Dekzeh on Swampert, so it's going awful for Tama here. I think Dice just got this one. Tama team looks very weak to Earthquake. I don't know what the last two are. But you don't have a good Flygon switch in. Yeah, and just forfeits, wow. That was super fast. I wonder what Tama had in the back. Because, I mean, it's mixed mass, it's not like physical. And the Choice Bender Tyranitar. Doug Trio? I have no idea. Because, like, it could be anything, right? It's really hard to limit what's on Tama's team. The thing is, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a ground immunity or resist of any kind other than the Salamence. Because otherwise you don't send Starmie in on Flygon, and then the Swampert just kinda destroys the team. But yeah, if you're running Choice Band Tyranitar, you kinda need a Swampert answer that's like better than Starmie. Weird stuff. Like, I guess from turn 1, Tama was already in a bad position. Let's move on to game 2 here. Dice still on the bottom, Tama on the side, another Salamence lead, this time a Metagross lead. Interesting matchup. We see Protect already, so probably a more defensive Salamence. I was gonna say normally you want to switch out into a bulky water, but then you risk explosion. Metagross can usually take a Fire Blast, unless it's like uninvested. And takes anything from Choice Band. So Metagross usually has the advantage here. Choice Band Meteor Mash can kill some Salamence, we see a Meteor Mash. And Protect reveals a defensive Salamence. As we see a Porygon switching on a hidden power. What? I'm trying to understand why Dice wouldn't just Meteor Mash there. I guess he was scared of the flamethrower, and he's probably not a choice band, so Meteor Mash wouldn't do that much damage. That makes sense. Porygon to revealed early though. So you see a Celebi from Tama. Okay. And a Tyranitar switch in on the Leech Seeds. So Dice definitely looking to trap a Dugtrio for something, like baiting Dugtrio with Metagross, Tyranitar, having the Porygon in the back. See a Hidden Power Grass from Celebi there. Another Leech Seed. Tama just staying in with a paralyzed Celebi in front of a Tyranitar is kind of insane. Makes me think he maybe has a Dug in the back and doesn't mind getting trapped. Oh, the Suicune, yeah, kind of confirms that. Maybe some sort of weather change. But yeah, Leech Seed Porygon in front of Suicune. Gotta switch out, going to Zapdos. Suicune Calm Minds. Maybe Tama forces through some damage here. Maybe go back to Celebi to scout a little bit more. Get some chip on Zapdos. Just stays in. And that's a matchup that Zapdos is winning. So no Ice Beam Suicune, defensive Suicune. And probably offensive Zapdos from the damage, yeah. Gets the Toxic on the Celebi switch in, so that's gonna be forced out at some point. We see Protect, so it's Toxic Protect Zapdos. That's good information for Tama. I'm looking at Dice's team here, and I'm just thinking there's probably some form of special sweeper here that appreciates Doug being on, so Jirachi or even Raikou comes to mind. Probably not Jirachi. Yeah, I guess it's... Oh, wait, that's a huge turn. So we see a Meteor Match there on the Magneton switch in. Yeah, it was like Metagross on Celebi, you go Magneton. So that was a choice band Metagross from the damage on Magneton, so it was locked. But it would have gotten like 50% extra damage on the Magneton if it didn't get crit. Oops, I'm so sorry, I messed up the video. Should be fine now. But yeah, that's an important crit, right? I guess it's not really. You just missed out on some damage on the Magneton. But the Metagross was dead either way because it's choice locked. So let's see what Dice follow-up here is. Tyranitar. And it's faster than Magneton with Earthquake. So probably some bulkier Magneton. Or maybe just Jolly's Tyranitar here. As we see Salamence. Goes for the Toxic on the switch. That's really huge. That's actually huge. I mean, the Porygon doesn't wall much, it seems like, but now it just has to recover every time. Good double on Dice's part, getting the Tyranitar in on Celebi. Let's see what he goes for. HP Bug or Grass. Probably Bug, right? So this doesn't look like a Choice Bender. I guess it's very bulky Salamence, so it's probably Choice Bender. So I'm guessing Jolly Choice Band Tyranitar because they outsped the Magneton. And it's kind of wild that Tama stayed in with a paralyzed Celebi on what is now a choice band Tyranitar, right? So Wish gets passed to Suicune. Suicune is healthy again. Yeah, I mean... Oh, we see Raikou from Dice. Yeah, it's like I was saying, it has to be Jirachi or Raikou. Oh, but Tama has the Snorlax in the back. Oh, Snorlax looks just so damn good in this matchup. I was gonna say, it was very likely that Tama had a Snorlax in the back. And the last is probably Claydol. Could be Dugtrio, but that's like so aggressive. I'm thinking Claydol. And from Dice's side, it's probably Dugtrio, right? Let's see, does this have Earthquake? Yeah, Dice's team is just way too soft to Snorlax. Just how it goes with special Sweepers. You kinda needed the Zapdos to like chip down the Snorlax, but Tama also has a Celebi. And we see Claydol from Dice. I was expecting Claydol from Tama and Dugtrio from Dice. No, it was the other way around, right? No, that's right. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. But there's Claydol on Dice. Oh, and Salamence gonna get the Wish Pass to Snorlax here. I'm pretty sure the Snorlax just can't lose now. I guess it depends on set, right? But yeah, he has only revealed Earthquake. You can just safely Earthquake here, because the Porygon stalks anyways. The Zapdos not gonna do it, the Claydol's not gonna do it, the Tyranitar can't switch into Earthquake. I guess we gotta force through damage with the Tyranitar. We see a Clado expecting an Earthquake, maybe trying to explode or get some Earthquake chip. But Tama switches out, very conservative, gets Suicune in and just clicks Surf. Yeah, Tama is playing very conservatively with the Snorlax, which is fine. Like, you should play safe when you have like this much of an advantage. The only way Dice can really like push through damage here is with the Choice Band Tyranitar. But it's really hard because he must be thinking much like I am. Then the last one is like either Dugtrio or Clado. So yeah. Oh, we see Heal Bell Celebi. So is this like a Curse-like team? I'm wondering. Like, it could be. It definitely fits. Maybe Heal Bell is just for the Suicune and the Snorlax is like an explosion support sets, I guess. CHP Grass on Clado, and you see Clado on Clado. So Tamahome is in fact Clado, so there's no Dugtrio. But that's his only rock resist, so like maybe Tyranitar could do something. Especially because it's Jolly, it's probably gonna be faster than the defensive Suicune. See a freeze from Tama, but that shouldn't matter, because the best thing Clado can do is explode, as he does, and it deals no damage. So the freeze didn't really matter. Oh, it's Dragon Dance, so it's Jolly Dragon Dance. Okay. Does he have... He doesn't have... Okay, so I was right. It was HP Grass at first. So it's the HP Grass. Yeah, Dice was never winning this. Snorlax was just so good in this matchup. As soon as Metagross got trapped, it was close to being over. And Tama even have the Clado to counter the Dragon Dance Tyranitar because he lacked the HP bug. So yeah, also well played by Tama. Playing really safe with the Snorlax, not letting the Snorlax get chipped down and get too low. The Wish Salamence really helping. And yeah, we see Shadow Ball, so it doesn't have a normal stab. It's probably like Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Explosion, Curse. Or Self-Destruct, not Explosion. Or maybe even Fire Blast, but I doubt it's Fire Blast with Magneton. But yeah, probably a Curse Explosion. And yeah, Snorlax just so good against Dice team composition here. Raikou is just kind of a... Well, I won't say bad, but it's such matchup specific, it's wild. But yeah, it's series is 1-1. We're gonna have a game 3. Let's hope for a good one. And still Dice on the bottom, Tama on the top. Let's see the leads. Tyranitar and Suicune lead. Suicune lead usually tells me it's some form of like Calm Mind offense. How offensive it depends, but definitely some form of Calm Mind offense because those teams usually don't have a good lead and they usually can't switch well into Tyranitar, so they gotta force it out first. And Tyranitar lead from Dice doesn't really tell me anything. So Tama is in a good position as the lead. You can click... I like clicking Roar as Suicune if you have it, just to scout it. But you can just Surf it safe. We see a Blissey on Surf. And yeah, Dice appears to have a more traditional, like maybe TSS style. It's too early to tell. Definitely some sort of Calm Mind offense by Tama. And just by it staying and clicking Calm Mind, you gotta know it's a Rest Suicune. It's very rare that you don't see a Rest on Suicune these days. Like, you can use Sub, Rain Dance and stuff, but Rest is just way more common. Oh, it's Snatch. It's Snatch Blissey. It's Snatch the Rest. That's funny. I wonder, do you Surf here as Tama on the Switch? You could grab the Tyranitar. You never make that play, but it's funny. Yeah, it switches out into Tyranitar, but it's a Rest. Yeah. I mean, Surfing there is just not a play that you realistically can make, but it's funny. Okay, so it's Roar. I was thinking it was either Choice Band or Roar. Because it could like Choice Band Focus Punch there. But it's Roar Tyranitar. And Tamahome is just very safe staying in with Celebi on Tyranitars. That's wild. And just waiting to get Special Defense drop or crit. Right, to get a Special Defense drop. So does Dice switch up and go for Pursuit here? Or do you just Crunch? Recover on the Pursuit. Okay, so just the way that this has been playing. Let me pause here because this is important. Tama seems very content to losing the Celebi to the Tyranitar here. As long as he gets some chip. And with the Suicune, Calm Mind, Special Offense, I think what Tama is trying to do here is just sacrifice the Celebi, get the trio in, trap the Tyranitar, and maybe even have some weather changer in the back and then go for the Suicune in. Because Suicune is just winning against Blissey, right? Even with Snatch, I don't think Snatch does it, especially if it has some weather change. But yeah, the way Tama is playing, he's very content. Oh, that's... I think Dice sees exactly what I'm talking about, because that's the only reason you switch Tyranitar out there, right? You don't want it to get trapped by Dugtrio in the back, because you probably need the Tyranitar, not just want, you need the Tyranitar to be able to force the Suicune out after it rests. So conservative play, preserving the Tyranitar, I like that. And we see Flygon again from Dice. Is another choice bender. And a Porygon 2 from Tama. Wow. So that's the perfect answer, right? See Earthquake on the Porygon 2, that's no damage because it traces Levitate. Yeah, Tama definitely has some form of special offense. Jirachi and Raikou definitely in the back. One of the two, maybe both. Definitely Dugtrio and then something else. As we see, Suicune is the Blissey switch in. Makes sense. Slept for one turn. Go Flygon on Suicune. I mean, it doesn't have Ice Beam, but like... There's a Porygon in the back. You're going for the Rock Slide. I don't understand anything about that turn. I guess resting from Tama's side is okay, but the Rock Slide from Flygon is just weird. It's not like you're trading up damage, you're trading down, you're taking more from serve than you're dealing with Rock Slide. And even Earthquake is not that big of a deal because Suicune has rest, Flygon has no recovery, and yeah. Okay, Tama is now not as content in sacrificing the Celebi to the Tyranitar. As we see Roar as the last move, so it's not a Sleep Talker, it's Roar. Oh, get some chip damage on Tyranitar. Yeah, Dice stay in there kinda weird. I guess expecting a Roar, but I don't know, like, why? Like, what does that get you? Chipping down the Suicune is not very important. Dice has yet to show a good answer to the Suicune here. Like, Snatch Blissey is not gonna do it. I mean, it could if you predict perfectly every single turn, but realistically won't. You also have to deal with pressure, so you gotta keep going to Tyranitar to Roar here. I wonder, like, in one of those turns, you can double to Dugtrio on the Tyranitar, like here, but this sequence will repeat itself through the game. So Tama has time to do that, it doesn't have to do it now. Oh, we see Clay though, so that probably means no Dugtrio. Okay, that changes things. That does change things. And Swampert from Dice, expected. Dice looks like just a bulky team. It's kinda weird that he doesn't have spikes, because he also doesn't have much of a way to push through damage. And like with Roar, Tyranitar, you kinda want spikes. And like his only way to push through damage right now is just the Flygon. From the damage is defensive Suicune, defensive Swampert. So that just confirms what we were expecting there. And yeah, just chipping down the Swampert and then going Tyranitar. Yeah, I think if Tama had a Dugtrio, this would be so much better. But I kinda get the Clay though. Those teams are usually very soft to spikes. If you're going... Oh, he has both. Okay. Okay. I wonder what's the last for Tama then, because it's like if you... I mean, you theoretically could just have a Jirachi or Raikou there. Jirachi fits better, because it's like a... I mean, Raikou is also a flying resist, but not really. But Jirachi is a flying normal resist, right? So that fits really well. As we see a Seismic Toss on Suicune, that Suicune just a huge annoyance to Dice's team. And like, it's such a bad position for Dice, because the Tyranitar is now dead. He can't force the Suicune out. The only way he has to push through damage so far is Flygon. And Tama has a Porygon 2, which is like the best Flygon switch in you can have. And also even has a Claydol in the back. So it's very unlikely that Flygon does something here. Yeah, Dice trying to get Swampert in. Like, if you're in a position where you gotta send Swampert... Oh, we see a Jump Bluff. Hold on. I was saying, if you're in a position where you're gonna send Swampert into Suicune, that's not a good position at all. We see a Jump Bluff, but again, no spikes. Like, Dice's team really looks like he wants spikes, but there's just no spikes. I wonder if like some different Jump Bluffs have than the standard. I don't think so. Like, yeah, we see Sleep Powder, Tama has the Celebi, and again, this Jump Bluff needs spikes, because otherwise it doesn't progress the game, it just annoys people and delays the inevitable. And with spikes, you're actually progressing the game state because you are getting damage through just by forcing switches. And Jumpluff forces a lot of switches. But yeah, I'm failing to see how Dice beats the Suicune because even Jumpluff gets stalled out. I think this is just Tama's game to lose at this point. That's a freeze, that's a start. That's a start, but like, is Celebi even important? Like, Tama was happy to sacrifice the Celebi at the very beginning of the game. I think he's still happy to lose the Celebi and he's still probably gonna win. I don't think Tama needs much more other than like Suicune, Porygon, and Doug Trio, and the last one, which is either Jirachi or Raikou. Thinking Jirachi. We see Claydol position on Blissey, probably threatening the explosion. Swampert healing up, but like the Swampert is so irrelevant in this matchup. It doesn't do anything against the Suicune, doesn't do much against the Celebi. Unless it crits, of course. Like if you freeze and then you crit, then Swampert does something against the Celebi. I still like Thomas to win here, right? But Dice putting up the fight, he's going for his outs. I wonder what is his last here. Like, could there be something? Oh, it's just a Magneton. And there's Doug Trio and Claydol, so... yeah, I mean, you can keep pulling those doubles. Oh, it's Sunny Day Doug Trio. Right. That just makes it even better for Suicune now. Like, what's stopping the Suicune now? It's gonna rest for 2 turns and then wake up, and then... I mean, you force it out a couple of times with like Snatch and Jumpluff, Leech Seed, Sleep Powder. As we see Raikou. Okay. What does that mean? I was expecting Jirachi just because, like, look at Choice Band Salamence clicking HP Flying, or even Choice Band Aerodactyl clicking Double Edge against Tama's team. Jirachi fits super well there, but Raikou is an interesting pick. He keeps going Raikou on Magneton. I guess he doesn't want to lose Doug, doesn't want to get damage on Claydol. But again, maybe like the way Tama is playing is probably a rest Raikou. See Suicune back in again. See Magneton in. Gets a Thunder Wave on Raikou. The way Tama has been playing, I think this is a rest Raikou, but we'll see. Or maybe he's just like content to sacrifice the Raikou to the Magneton. And then just Doug Trio. And that's risk-free for Suicune. Oh, that's... okay, let me go back that turn. I can't agree with this. I'm sorry. Tama is in such a good position. Why would you risk getting Earthquake crit here and losing Suicune and then potentially maybe the game? You have so many safe switch-ins. You have Claydol and Porygon. And like, all you get back is Surf Chip on Flygon. That's just not worth it. You were just dead to crit there. I get it, it's just like... and again, so 2 turns in a row where you just risk Suicune to crit. And, nah, yeah. Don't like that. Don't like that at all from Tama. Could have just gone Porygon earlier. You see Thunder Wave. And Suicune is now healthy again. But hasn't slept at all. See Magneton on Suicune. Just keeps going Raikou. So yeah, either Tama wants Raikou to die to Magneton so he can trap it safely, or it's a rest Raikou. Let's see how this goes. Just get some Thunderbolt. So maybe it's not rest, but I think that it is. And it's rest. Okay. So yeah, you can force Raikou out with Flygon and Swampert, but Tama just has the safe switches in the back for those. The Jumpluff doesn't do anything without any form of chip damage. How does Dice win here? You can't... there's no PP stalling angle. Maybe Dice needs to get super lucky with Flygon critting and like at all the right turns. Maybe Tama like risks more crits and then gets punished. I don't even know. I think I'm gonna speed this up like just a little bit. So Ice Beam, maybe go for the freeze on Suicune and hope it stays frozen forever. That's the way, I guess. Siblisi. Uh, yeah, I think Dice had to go for the Magneton crit there. That's like a way that he could win. But I guess he also wants to play around the Doug trio. So it's why the Blissey Toxic. This is gonna take a while. Maybe I need to go hyper fast here. Porygon healing itself by Trace Natural Cure. The Flygon Rock Slides. The Porygon, that's not enough damage. I guess you can go for the flinches. But yeah, if you don't get flinch and you get Flygon Toxic, it's over. So good on him by switching out there. Yeah, I think Tama slowly wins this one. See Jumpluff just threatening to Encore. You don't want to Encore because you want to preserve PP. You don't want to Sleep Powder because you want to preserve PP. And both Suicune and Raikou have pressure, right? Okay, you got a Sleep Powder here, or Leech Seed, sure. And Tama just goes for the Calm Minds. I mean, Tama definitely wins the PP stalling war here, but Dice is at least like doing a good job of not wasting his PP. Though I guess not really, like... Pressure is just such a huge deal in this matchup, it's crazy. Yeah, there's really not much to talk about here. I mean, let's go hyper fast until something important happens. Jumpluff. Jumpluff, you can just see, like, what I was saying when I first saw the Jumpluff. Without spikes, Jumpluff does absolutely nothing. See a crit there from Magneton. See Flygon. Flygon's getting low. It's like at 30%, yeah. And just switches and switches. I don't think Dice has a way to push through damage here. And I think other than like those two turns where Tama risked the Earthquake crits on the Suicune, he has played it pretty safe and just making good use of his commanding position. Okay, Sleep Powder on the Raikou. Does that matter? Maybe if Raikou sleeps forever. But then again, like, I think you only really need Raikou to switch in on the Magneton. So you can get the Dugtrio safe. So you don't have to... Oh, the Porygon died. Hold on. Okay, let's go back. Can I go back one turn without this crashing? Go back to normal, because now maybe we have a game. So why does Tama stay in here? And again, looking at this position, even without the Porygon, Tama should still win, right? But now the Flygon's a little bit more threatening. But there's no reason for Porygon to ever stay in here, right? You can just go Raikou. That's like, it's a lucky crit, it's whatever. But sometimes you can just play around it. And this maybe gives Dice a way back into the game. Magneton dies now. Flygon comes in. And like, if Flygon clicks the right move every turn and gets lucky, then maybe. Didn't click Earthquake there, didn't get lucky. See a Jumpluff back in. Maybe we have a game now. I think Tama still has the advantage, like by a lot. He still should win this. Raikou still asleep, yeah. Suicune switches out because Suicune wakes up now. You wanna get Flygon in when Suicune hasn't burned sleep turns. So you can maybe Earthquake crit on the switch or something. Or like make so that Tama can't safely send the Suicune in. And then you predict the Claydol and then HP bug the Claydol. The Flygon can like help Dice progress his gameplay here and find a way to win. Even if it's unlikely. Alright, we see Jumpluff, Leech Seed. Surf does some damage. You just switch out here, right? Yeah. Like I said, Dice just has no way of pushing through damage. He has a Choice Band Flygon against a team that had a Porygon, has a Suicune without Sand because of weather change, has a Claydol, and even a Celebi. So just a bad matchup for Flygon, which is what it is. But you can't really have Choice Band Flygon as your only way of pushing through damage. I mean, he had the Tyranitar, but it was like a support set with Roar and Special, so I'm not sure what Dice plan is with this team. It's a very weird team. It's the kind of thing that really just really needs spikes. But I guess you can't fit it. I don't know. Okay, we see the Flygon. The Suicune is awake. Tama goes into it. He's dead to crit here. Do you go for it? Do you risk it? Tama risks the crit, gets a rest off. I mean, I think that just had to push through damage. Like, I get his Witch, was expecting the Claydol Witch in there. So maybe a good rest by Tamas. But I think in Tama's side you can just play super safe and still win and not have to risk any more crits. CHP bug. Yeah, Tama seems very content in just always sending Suicune on Flygon. HP bug on the double bug to Raikou. Has left for 2 turns. And like another concern here is Flygon Earthquake PP, right? Because of pressure. Only has 5 more PPs. It's really not that great of a look. So maybe just switching Suicune in all the time. It's kinda safe. Like, it can go wrong, but it's kinda safe. We see Swampert on Raikou. Do we see HP's HP Grass then? Otherwise Raikou would have switched out there. And Dice just didn't really have a Suicune answer. Like, at all. And even Blissey must be getting low on PP, right? Flygon at Thunderbolt, so just trying to waste Tama's PP with Thunderbolt and HP. And yeah, Flygon is slow. Goes for the hidden power from the Blissey. But Tama has just so much more PP. Tries to go for the Snatch, you got a Calm Mind, but it's a losing proposition at this point, right? You just got a Toxic. I guess like Dice was trying to maybe find a way to force the Raikou out without wasting... Oh, that's over. That's GG. Like I said, Dice was probably trying to find a way to force the Raikou out without wasting a Toxic PP. But now Raikou just wins. And you can rest here, and even if it snatches the rest, you rest the following turn. And the Blissey won't ever 1v1 anything. Yeah, like, overall well played by Tama. Dice team was very weird to me. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just missing something here, but I don't see how Dice pushes through damage. I guess like maybe he was expecting a different matchup and he just forfeits, yeah, because now Tama just wins with either Suicune or Raikou. Jumpluff has Encore. If you're thinking like, why don't Dice play this out? It's only 8 PP, it's 4 PP with pressure on both Suicune and pressure on Raikou. It's just over at this point. It was over for a while, Dice fought it back. He got the lucky breaks that he needed to have a game. And maybe he could have gotten even more lucky breaks to the Flygon at the end and found a way through. But like I said, it was Tama's game to lose. Tama played it well. Dominated the game from start to finish. Even though he risked a few things that I personally wouldn't have. He still won. He goes through. Dice goes to those brackets. And that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you guys for more narration soon.